It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, and let's talk EP Netball now. Eastern Eyre and Great Flinders, of course. Joe Franklin is back with us once more. How are you, Joe?
I'm doing really well, thanks, Jason. You?
Going well, thank you.
Good.
Very busy weekend it was last weekend, and we've got some really interesting results to talk about here. So, look, I'm not sure which one to start with because they've all got talking points to them. Let's start with the absolute hiding at Carcoo. Now, I don't think anyone saw this coming. 74 to 20. Wow.
Yes, nobody would have seen that coming. And for the Ramblers girls, it was, well, Kira, as she said, has tried to stay positive about it all. And for United Jelena, they're just excited to have a good win and starting to put together the formation of and the development of their side from last year. You add in a Cassie Norton to that side, and it's obviously going to make a lot of difference. But Cassie Norton and Tegan Modra in defence did a really, really good job. Poor Kelly Symes and Caitlin Benny really struggled for most of the first quarter in particular. But, Cassie obviously creating lots of turnovers for the United Jelena girls, and gave their goalies plenty of opportunity. And the experience of the Jelena midcourt was just too much for the poor young Rambler girls. Although Ramblers were quite happy, they took the opportunity to blood young Matilda Nettle, who was only very young. She's still an under 15. And she held her own. They were quite happy with that. And Sally Cabot through the centre held her own in bits and pieces. But in the end, the experience and the strength of the Jelena centre court just was a bit of a telling factor there. Caitlin Haasma and Paige Darlett combined in defence for Ramblers and gave them a little bit of hope with a few turnovers down that end. But a young Abby Cash and Lacey Manane just really put it together in all facets, not only their movement but also in their accuracy in the goals, which is great for those two because they struggled through last year and they are reaping the benefits of it this year. And, they shot really well. Look, Ramblers tried lots of different combinations, but really they didn't have any answers to the Jelena side, and it was well done to the Jelena. It's very encouraging for them to get a win and have their young ones who are now, in their second year up in A grade to do that well. And I didn't have an incentive award winner for United Jelena, but the Ramblers incentive award went to Caitlin Haasma.
All right. Okay, we move to the close one. From the flogging to the close one. This was Tumby Bay and Eyre United. And look, having a bit of a look at the Tumby Bay lineup, okay, yes, there are some players that will come back into this team, but 32-28, you can only play against what's there for you to play. Tumby are a strong club. They have depth. Eyre United, this is a good result for them. It's almost as good as a win. You don't get any points for it, of course, but they pushed them close.
Yeah, they did. And, yes, Tumby Bay were missing Ilka Stone, so a big out. However, having said that, Alex Stratford stepped in there and young Sarah Laurie really stood up and shot beautifully from anywhere in the circle, got the ball, turned, spotted the ring, bang, through it went. Well done to those goalies. They really, Auntie Little and Renee Colbung started in defence, and they started really well for Eyre United and were creating a few turnovers. But then the young girls just sort of settled in a little bit and had Auntie and Renee running around a little bit. But look, honestly, Eyre United quite happy with that because, again, they are putting a whole new side together. They were really happy with young Yaz Fowler, who played at goal shooter and stood Summer Cave, which is no mean feat. Summer's extremely experienced and very talented. But Brooke was really happy with the way that Yazzie stood up to the task, and rest of the season ahead, who knows what that young girl's going to bring to the team. But there was a real battle through the centre. Kennedy McNamara and Marty Masson, neither of them are going to give an inch, and they didn't. Look, at half-time it was even, Jay. At half-time the scores were dead even. But in the end, the last quarter got a little bit fast and furious, and whilst it was the Fable girls who were creating most of the pace for Eyre United, sometimes when you're running at that pace, the people ahead of you aren't quite ready, and sometimes that can make it easier for turnovers. But in the end there, the incentive for Tumby went to Summer Cave, and the incentive for Eyre United went to Muddy Maston for a real solid 4 quarters in the centre. So, yeah, if I was Brooke, I would be thinking that was a really good go against Tumby Bay and be looking forward to getting them in the next round because, they're going to be that many more games, more experienced.
Yeah, spot on. So good performance there. The last match of the round, Elliston Districts took on Lock. This was, I believe, at Lock, and it was the away side getting the job done in the end by 10 goals. Elliston Districts back in the winners list and going okay. The Roos, though, I think they'd be disappointed with the result here.
Well, they weren't for 3 quarters. For 3 quarters, this was really tight and really tough. At quarter time, there was only 2 goals in it. Lock actually won the second quarter, so Elliston were only up by 1 at half time. There was only 3 in it at 3-quarter time, 30-27. Elliston shot at 80%, but the Lock goalers, Lisa Burrows, just absolutely blitzed it, shot at 92%, and Jordan Sladden the same. So their team Lock actually shot way better percentage, at 92%. Any coach is going to be extremely happy with that. But Elliston defence line, we speak about it every week, Kelsey Hull and Nikki Schubert just created so many turnovers. So they were turning the ball over before Lisa and Jordan actually got to have their shots. So in the last quarter, which is where Elliston Districts ran away with it in the last quarter. And also the coach demanded a step up in their centre court defence, and that is exactly what they did. And that they were able to transition the ball down into their goalies, and their goalies got on top in the last quarter and, ran away with that win, 10 goals. But, as far as for Lisa, for 3 quarters, you would have to be extremely happy with the way that you've matched it with Elliston Districts because that side is almost their side from last year and there's a fair bit of experience in it. A lot of height.
Absolutely. How good do you have to be to knock them off when you're shooting at 92% from both of your goalies and you still go down by 10? But as you say, they've matched it with them for 3 quarters, so they've just got to be able to put that 4th quarter together.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely, and I'm sure that's what they're working towards.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at this round of matches for Great Flinders, and we'll move. It is round 5 this week. We'll start with Elliston Districts. They're taking on Eyre United. This will be fascinating, actually, with Eyre United having improved.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's exactly what Kate has said. She said, really looking forward to seeing just exactly what this new look Eyre United team is all about. So I think for young Yazzie Fowler from Eyre United, it's going to be a whole different kettle of fish for her this week up against Kelsey Hull. Kelsey's height, her experience, her ability to be able to read the ball and take it early. But if Yazzie can settle, then, it'll be fantastic for her. I just think that then you've got Nikki Schubert out in front of that. Look, Brooke's got lots of different shooting options for goal attack, and I'll be really interested to see which one she goes for, whether she goes for the one of the Flavour girls and, a very quick moving circle, or whether she goes for something a little bit taller. I think will be really, really interesting. But, the goalies will definitely know that they've played a game after coming up against Kelsey and Nikki, there's no doubt about that. And I really think that's exactly where the game will be decided. I think that Kelsey and Nikki will probably provide enough turnover for Elliston to get away with this game. But at the other end, Auntie Little and Renee Colbung, and they also run Sasha Stratford through there as well. I'm just not really sure about how they'll match up on the 2 Elliston Districts goalers. They're pretty quick and they're pretty accurate and they're tall. Yeah. So, I think it'll be a very interesting game. And like I said, Kate is not taking it easy by any stretch of the imagination. She's just there all really keen to see exactly what Eyre United have come up with.
All right. Let's move to Lock, and they will head to Cummins to take on the Cougars girls, who are well rested. They had the week off last week. Cougars obviously will start favourites here, but how good a lock. If they could match it with Elliston Districts for 3 quarters, can they do the same against a very good side in Cummins-Kapini Cougars?
Well, they could, because Cummins-Penny could well still be under COVID clouds. Morgan McDonald came down with it Mother's Day, so not sure whether she'll be up to the game. So huge out in the centre court. That will be a huge out in the centre court, although young Billy Thompson did come in last week and in our last game and did really well. So, she could step up into that position, I would be thinking. There'd be no question about that. But Ella and Hannah, Ella Wedd and Hannah Green, I'm just not sure how you go past that as a goalie combination at the moment. They're both so accurate. They are beautiful. They play really well together. They're so aware of where each other are. And the feeds into them from the Cougars centre quarters is just perfect. So it will be a tough day out for the lock defenders. Other end, tough day out for the Cougars defenders as well, because obviously Lisa and Jordan are playing very well together, and I'm guessing Jordan will be available this week. So I think that this will be another really interesting game. And if Locke could put 4 quarters together, I wouldn't doubt that they wouldn't take it right up to the Cougars girls.
Right, well, look forward to the result of that one. But last match, we'll find out just how much United Yolanda has improved as well. They take on Tumby Bay, so we've got a fascinating round. Ramblers having the bye. So Tumby at home, United Yolanda coming to town. Let's see how good the Eagles have become.
Let's see how good they've become. Look, there's no doubt about the fact that you bring in a Cassie. I called her Norton before, and I should actually be calling her Maxfield. You bring her into your side, and it just lifts everybody, because it's the voice, it's the talk, it's the organisation, and just her ability to be able to intercept balls regularly. So it's got to lift the rest of the team, and it certainly has looked like it did that last week. I think it will continue to do that. Just think that some of the Tumby experience, as far as I know, Ilka will be back this week. She's recovered from her COVID. She's out of ISO, so she definitely will be making an appearance again this week. And, really interesting always when Cassie and Ilka play each other. That may happen, it may not. Ilka has been playing back at goal shooter, so but I'll be really interested to see how young Sarah Laurie matches up with Cassie and how she deals with that youth and speed as well. So, look, this, again, very, very interesting. Kate Hancock and Kennedy McNamara, that will be a really interesting drill through the centre as well. We will just see how far the Eagles have come.
All right, there you go. That's Great Flinders netball wrapped up. But before we move on to Eastern Air netball, my understanding is, and Joe, you're on top of this, I think Great Flinders are looking for a new president, aren't they?
They have an interim. They have an interim president. Yeah, right. They do.
Okay, so we will have a look at that in the future once that's all sorted out. But good luck to everyone there on the court for Great Flinders netball. Let's talk Eastern Air netball next. And last week's results, some interesting ones amongst them. Unfortunately for Ports, my girls, they ran into a red-hot Eastern Rangers. And, I think if I have a look here, the clean sweep was in order. They got them in every grade.
Yeah, they did. They certainly did. Look, poor Ports. They just can't take a trick at the moment. Chloe Wake has contacted me during the week as well. She said, that they've picked up some new players and they've got some skill there. It's just a matter of getting it all together for 4 quarters or even a whole quarter, and getting some belief in themselves is the big issue, I think, there at the moment. I just don't think that they believe that they can actually be competitive and can win. And that's a real mindset that Chloe's going to try and work on over the next couple of weeks. But Eastern Rangers, they are just... look, they have 2 goalers who are nearly 6 foot, and they have 2 defenders who are 6 foot. So, it's just... how you beat that, I just don't know. And Ports obviously just didn't have an answer to that. Like the 2 Science girls in goals, it's just they've really slotted into roll really well. They shoot really accurately. And down the other end of the defensive, Jordan Hooper, well, she's just amazing, that girl. She just reads the ball so well that they are very, very tough at the moment and are looking very, very good, I think, as the team to beat in Eastern Eyre.
All right. Well, they're the team to beat across a number of grades too. The Eastern Rangers. But 63-18 was the final score of the A grade. We'll move on to the close one, which was Central Eyre United at home. I think they were, I'm not sure, they weren't at Warrnambool, but they were at home anyway, taking on Kimber. And they went down by 6 in the end, Joe.
Yeah, look, I did say last week that I thought that this could be quite close and closer than what anybody might have been thinking, because Kimber have lost a few from last year, so they are putting together a bit of a new side, and their losses have a long time A-grade players. So, you don't just necessarily replace, even though Kimber have got the depth, you still have to, have that A-grade experience. So Central United, very happy with that performance, and are thinking that they're not that far off the pace now, and they have just been, as I said to you, they have been ravaged with COVID, so that wasn't even their full side. They still had several missing out of that side. And, in fact, at one stage during the week, we're wondering whether they would even be able to field all of their senior sides. So, that's a really good effort for those girls.
Certainly is. A big effort to push Kimber that close. They did have a win on the day in the C2 grade, 38-14, so it wasn't a clean sweep for the Tigers, and there were some close-ish matches amongst them, not just the A grade. The C grade was pretty close. The E2s, the little babies, only 10 goals in that, and that's nothing in netball terms, really, is it?
Yeah, not at that age. Not at that age. Very interesting. And I think that once Zeki can get all of her girls out to training and on the court, they will be very interesting side to watch.
They will. All right, let's have a look at this round of matches in Eastern Eyre Netball, round 4. And at Kimber, here it is, the showdown. Eastern Rangers come to town to take on Kimber Districts. I think we'll find out a little bit more about both of these two sides. They traditionally have been the litmus test for each other.
Yeah, they certainly have. And don't know a lot about Kimber. I'm not sure whether COVID has hit them or not. And I did have a little chat to Megan on Sunday at the Carnival in Lincoln and tell her that she needs to get her act together. However, I do know that Eastern Rangers are pretty much full strength. And again, it's going to be battling that height that Kimber are going to have to come up against. And having said that, their centre court is really strong as well. So they're actually they're very even all the way across the court. And I just think Eastern Rangers will be too strong. Yeah,
I think you are right there. Interesting game, this one at Warrnambool. If Cow can get somewhere near full strength against Central United, this should be a good game. But I think the Storm, on the back of the form they've showed last week, well, they have to go in as favourites, don't they?
Well, I think they probably will, and especially at Warrnambool, and some people don't even know where they're going to get to Warrnambool, so they could well get lost along the way. But anyway, yes. The Central United, surely they're through COVID for 3 weeks, probably, and been dealing with it. It's just oh my goodness, when is this going to stop? So I'm thinking that they are getting towards getting everybody back on court, and whilst it affects, obviously the how fit you are and how you can run the game out, but Cal, look, they're putting together a young side. They've got a new coach. They've also had COVID, although I believe that a couple of those will be back this week as well. So both sides would be getting pretty close to full strength. And so I think that this game will actually show both of them exactly where they fit within the Eastern Eyre A grade at the moment.
All right. Well, it's going to be an interesting weekend. Anything else before we wrap it up, Joe?
Oh, just thank you to everybody who travelled to the Port Lincoln Junior Carnival on Sunday. It was a great day. We had such a big crowd. It was amazing. Weather was fantastic. But, we had people travel from Streaky Bay and all over. We really appreciated that. And everybody, it was a great day. The girls learnt lots. We're very tired at the end of it, but we had a great day. And in the end, some of the sides that travelled were able to take home a medallion, and a couple of the local sides, our waybacks. I think we might have taken home 3 grades, Chase. So the president was pretty happy with that. Ports won one of the divisions, so they were pretty happy about that. So yeah, it was a really good day. So we were very thankful to everybody, all the volunteers, umpires, everybody that helped out. It was great.
Excellent. All right. Well, we will leave it there for today, mate. Well done. Great stuff. Good luck for your crew down in Port Lincoln on the weekend. Another round of matchups there, I assume. How's the season started down in Lincoln?
Yeah, pretty even, actually. Yeah, pretty good. We are looking forward to this week. This will be the last match of the round because we only have 4 teams in the A grade down there. Yep. But Waybacks have had a couple of wins and are sitting out on top, and the others have had won and lot, have beaten each other. So pretty even down here at the moment. But I reckon that you will be talking to Super Coach Rihanna Freeman too. The top side that she brought down to the carnival had a win. So just a reminder that, she's a Super Coach and she might have got some skills and some knowledge from the old duck.
She reminds me every week that she's the reigning premiership coach. Don't you worry about that.
I know. She now has another win under her belt. Yeah, the side that they brought down did really well and won their division. So yeah,
it wasn't that long ago there was a curse that was dealing with our correspondence on the sports show. That curse has been lifted. I think you lifted it.
Yeah, I reckon I did. I did.
Good on you, mate. We'll catch you next week.
All right. Yeah, will do. Take care. Bye.